So our fourth speaker is from India, Dr. Atish Narayan Rao. He will give a talk on incidence and clinical spectrum of drug-resistant bacterial infections and associated mortality in pediatric hema-onco experience from a tertiary center in south of India.
This is back one.
Yeah. Dr. Atish.
Good evening, everybody. Myself, Dr. Atish from Apollo Specialty Hospital, Chennai, India. First and foremost, let me thank the organizing committee of this Congress to grant me this opportunity to share our data. In next few minutes, I'll be sharing our data on incidence of drug-resistant bacterial infections in pediatric hemato-oncology, the unit which we run in Chennai, which is a tertiary care center, along with the mortality and morbidity. So, as we all know, there is an alarming rise in the prevalence of drug-resistant bacterial infections among children with neutropenia following chemotherapy. The data available on the incidence and clinical spectrum of bacterial infections among this group of children, the pattern of resistance and its resultant mortality is scanty. Obviously, I'm talking about the published data. So, as we came across that the most common organisms that were resistant to multiple drugs, most predominantly carbapenems, were from the Enterobacteriaceae group. So we had a look at the literature where we found that the most common organisms or Enterobacteriaceae that were resistant to carbapenems included E. coli, Klebsiella, Enterobacter, Proteus, Serratia, and few others. How do the CRE take over? So there may be hardly one or two carbapenem-resistant Enterobacteriaceae in our gut. However, with wiping out, when we hit hard the organisms with our broad-spectrum antibiotics, these good germs that help prevent these infections get wiped out, and these carbapenem-resistant Enterobacteriaceae may grow. Not only they grow, they share their defense mechanisms with the other organisms and make them resistant too. So, when we look at the published data from Asia from 2000 to 2012, there was a gradual rise in the incidence of carbapenem-resistant Enterobacteriaceae, hardly from 0.5 to 1 to 2%. So with this background in our mind, we conducted a retrospective observational study at the Department of Pediatric Hemato-Oncology and Blood and Marrow Transplant Unit at Apollo Specialty Hospital, Chennai. We included the children with neutropenic fever which were culture positive between January 2014 to December 2015. We tried to reduce the incidence of multi-drug resistant sepsis, particularly to carbapenems, and associated mortality thereof. When we look at the patients which were culture positive, out of the 1252 patients that we had, 50 were culture positive. They grew some more other organisms. When we look at this table, the major chunk of our patients were from the transplant group and followed by the induction chemotherapies of leukemias, followed by other tumors. The organisms isolated matched the published data. Most common were GNB, that is gram-negative bacilli, namely Klebsiella, E. coli, Pseudomonas, coagulase negative staphylococci, Acinetobacter, and some rare organisms like Ralstonia enterobacter. Out of the 50 culture positive patients, there were 30% resistant to carbapenems. And here comes the thing, which the resistance increased as we see as I've seen in the literature, 1 to 2%. Our center showed within last 2 years the alarming rise to 30%. The mortality rate, however, was only 13% in the multi-drug resistant sepsis. So it was a great challenge, rather a great threat. So we had to sit down with our hospital infection control team and re-emphasize to reduce sepsis and improve outcomes thereby. So what did we do? Some interventions, simple interventions we tried to do. We got the stool carba-PCR done in the stools. Patients particularly admitted for hematopoietic stem cell transplant or high-dose chemotherapy. The children which were positive for CARBA-R resulted in early initiation of colistin, and the children which were sick with disproportionate tachycardias, colistin was added early. The hand washing protocol, though it's very simple thing, but it was re-emphasized time and again for parents as well as health workers. The surface cleaning which was augmented, the surface cleaning was done every shift with the nurses. The strict adherence to the neutropenic care, particularly to the SIDS bath, as the perianal sepsis predicted carbapenem-resistant bacterial bloodstream infections. Specific neutropenic diet was ensured. We used granulocytes quite early in the course of the disease prior to the end organ damage. So carbapenem-resistant bacterial sepsis is on rise or exponential rise. 30% of our gram-negative bacilli are multi-drug resistant, especially to carbapenems. The mortality due to drug-resistant bacterial sepsis has been 13% at our center.
Thank you.
The analysis of data with regards to prevalent institutional flora and drug resistance has resulted in the institution of several preventive strategies. This information will help plan care during neutropenic period with early institution of colistin, obviously in the sick patients which are CARBA-R positive, that is, which may be resistant to carbapenems, to reduce the mortality and improve survival in the most vulnerable children. As a roadmap to tackle the issue of drug-resistant bacterial sepsis, many stakeholders like international representatives, the representatives from medical sciences, academics, media, came together under one roof in Chennai in 2012. And they formulated a document and a 5-year plan to tackle this issue, which is famously called as Chennai Declaration. As there are multiple points incorporated, mostly the regular communication between microbiologists and clinicians, the strengthening of our microbiology labs, generating cumulative antibiograms, dissemination of data to the grassroots level, then restrictive resistant bacterial information to the clinicians, and many other points were included. Hereby I thank children and their families with whom we learn, pediatric hemato-oncology team in Apollo Specialty Hospital, our PICU team, nursing staff, and most importantly, hospital infection control team at our center. Thank you very much for patient listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Atish. Interesting study. How did you compare your results with the international figures? How different?
Actually, ma'am, this is just a pilot study. Yes. Which are, our plan is to go ahead with 2 years. What measures we instituted to look at it after 2 years and compare whether the resistant organisms decrease or the mortality thereof decrease. And actually, internationally, gram-positive sepsis is also quite common, but in our center, we did not find Staph aureus was just in 1 case out of the 50 culture-positive patients. However, we got some coagulase negative staphylococci which were found to be sensitive to the...
And just point of clarification, the 13% mortality was out of...
13% mortality was out of the multi-drug resistant only, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. So mortality was quite only 2 patients died actually.
Any questions?
Because they were sensitive to colistin.
From the audience, any further questions? Okay, thank you very much. We'll go ahead.